What's up, everybody? This is Will from the Fight Gods podcast. My partner Nico should be here later on. He's running late a little bit, so I'm going to handle things for right now. I hope everybody's doing well. Make sure you comment and share this. Definitely comment often so that I have people to talk to. I could talk to myself all night, obviously, but we'll go ahead and do some rundowns. I hope everybody's doing all right out there. If you are here, go ahead and give a shout out. Let us know you're here. So some interesting stuff going on in the fight world this week. For starters, Leon Edwards is saying that he's going to finish Nate Diaz. Unless Nate gets cut up like he did last time, I just don't see it happening. In Nate's last fight against Masvidal, he did get cut, and they stopped it because of the cut. But I will tell you that he was starting to really pour it on and was starting to do better in the fight when they stopped the fight. Unfortunately, he was already bleeding, and they stopped at doctor stoppage. But I don't see Leon ending this fight by anything unless the doctor stops it for a cut, which Nate has been known to bleed a lot. So that's typical fighter. I mean, he's saying he's going to win the fight, he's going to finish him. I don't think that he truly believes that, or maybe he does believe it, but I don't believe him on that one. But I'll tell you guys a little bit later on how I feel about that fight and who I think will win that one. But I definitely don't see Nate Diaz getting finished. Let's just put it that way. But we do have some good fights coming up this weekend, some great fights even. There's been a lot of back and forth between Vettori and Israel Adesanya. They've been talking trash to each other, all that kind of stuff. They were on the show that night, and it was pretty awesome, man. So I'm pretty excited about this week's fights. There's a lot going on with those fights right now. And so let's just go ahead and get into things. For starters, that rematch between Darren Stewart and Eric Anders. That is going to be a great fight. Those two were having a firefight before it got stopped. Let's see. It got stopped and was a no contest due to a illegal knee to the head to a downed opponent. So they rescheduled this fight. I can't wait for it. That's one of the most anticipated fights for me on this card coming up. I picked Stewart in the first fight. I picked Anders in the first fight. And he, hey, what's up, Bam? Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope everything's good with you, man. It was good to see you the other week. Hey, I need to post that picture I took with you, bro. So yeah, that Darren Stewart fight, it was pretty awesome. Him and Eric Anders, and Eric Anders, I believe, landed an illegal knee to Stewart's head while he was a downed opponent, and unfortunately, it got stopped, no contest. So we'll see how the next fight is. Hopefully, it is as exciting as the first one. So that fight's going on this weekend, and like I said, I'll give my predictions in a few minutes. Other news: Anthony Pettis had to pull out of the PFL fight this week. He, I guess, he was injured. He was supposed to be fighting against Alexander Martinez, but he cited illness as his reason for pulling out of the fight. So instead, Nathan Schultz is going to take his spot. Nathan is a former champion, and so hey, what's up, Sean? What's up, bro? Love you too, man. There's my boy. There's Nico.
All right, check me out. I'm dedicated. I'm here. I'm in a car right now.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
I wanted to swing by.
We're glad to have you, man. What do you think of the new? What do you think of the new layout?
New layout is fire, bro. I'm loving it.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So, I know you're traveling this week. I told them you had a little something going on. You're going to be a little bit late. But you're not going to be able to stay for the whole show, just for a few minutes, or what?
Nah, I wanted to come in and at least give you my picks, at least.
Yes. All right. Well, let's go over it, man. We could do that real quick. Let's see what we got. Let's see.
And I'm with your boy Stony Shores. He said, "Watch your mouth, or he's smacking you up."
Hey, man, Stony Shores. I'm disappointed because Stony Shores. He should have at least driven Brandon down to the elementary school when Alpha was over there.
You heard him?
Waiting on him. Stoney, I'm disappointed, bro. You should have driven him down there at least, man. He got some footage for us.
He said he gonna put him on a bike next time.
That's what's up, bro. The beach cruiser.
The beach cruiser.
I got one in the
back. That's what's up, bro.
Magnifico rode the beach cruiser, but the Jew, he broke it.
Oh man, that's horrible. That's horrible, man. It's me and my dad. It's kind of like both ours. I just keep it, man. You know, but yeah, man. So we'll start with these prelims. We'll start with Joanne Calderwood versus Lauren Murphy. Go ahead, hit me with it, Nico. Who you got?
JC.
Jason, me too, man. I like Joanne Calderwood. She's tough. Lauren Murphy's tough too. She's a very tough fighter. I just think that Joanne Calderwood's striking is just it's top level pretty much.
Very seasoned.
Yep, very seasoned. Lauren Murphy's more well-rounded. I will give her that, and she could give Joanne some problems if it goes to the ground.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I think Joanne will take this one by some form of stoppage. So, Nico, I was just talking about this, the Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart fight. The first time they fought was the same night Aljo won the title, one of your favorite moments in the UFC history.
We'll watch your mouth.
And they were having a firefight, and Eric Anders landed an illegal knee to the side of the head, just like in the Aljo fight, and this became a no contest. The first time I picked Eric Anders, I got to go with him again. I felt like he was giving Darren Stewart the business before he made that bonehead mistake. What do you think, man?
Damn, man, I agree with you, but I'm really scared.
No, we're not agreeing on everything. We're not agreeing on everything. It's just a couple fights, man. All right.
I'm with you. I'm with Eric.
All right. So the main event of the prelims, we got Drew Dober versus Brad Riddell. Give it to me, Nico. Who you got?
Double D.
Oh man. See, I'm going with Brad Riddell, man. So you don't even have to worry about the world exploding again, bro. I think Brad's pretty good, man. Drew's awesome. Drew has never been in a boring fight. I think this will be a very good fight. We'll see how it goes, but I think Brad takes the decision. I think Nico probably thinks Drew Dober takes the decision. Am I right about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's a good fight for the main event of the prelims. Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart should have been the main event of the prelims, or the women's fight. I think either of the other two fights should have been the main event of the prelims, only because if Joanne wins that fight, she's probably going to be up for a title shot against Valentina. So that I think that should have been the main event of the prelims, but also because Eric Anders and Darren Stewart, what's his name? Darren Stewart is what's your boy's name? I said he looked like last time. Tyrone Woodley. He's T Wood 2.0. So
T Wood meets Uriah Hall.
Yeah, for real. I can't call him T Wood, little T Wood anymore. You got mad at me last time and said because he's 185, he can't be little T Wood anymore. So we'll give him that. So let's go on up to the main card, Nico. The main card. First fight of the night. Jamaha Hill versus Paul Craig.
Paul Craig.
Number 14 versus 15. You got Paul Craig?
No, sir.
No? Okay. I got Paul Craig. So you're going with Hill, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I'm glad that we're differentiating a little bit here, man. I do like to see that.
It's going to get spicy.
Yeah, hey, man, that's the way to do it, bro. All right. Damian Maia, Belal Muhammad. Let's go, Nico. I'm going with Muhammad.
Belal.
Yeah, okay. I think that, if we talk about careers, Maia is one of the best fighters in the UFC that has not won a title. But if we're talking about right now, I think Muhammad. Exactly. Exactly. If we're talking about right now, I think that Muhammad has the momentum going for him, and he's got age on his side. And I think Damian Maia should start fighting for submission underground or something like that because he's just a little bit older, and I think that he would do better in straight up submission fighting.
Agreed.
So now there's 3 5-round fights like we talked about the other night. The first one is Leon Edwards.
Yo, is this going on? I just got to know off rip. Is the Leon and Nate counting towards our total?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
both show. I talked about this a little bit earlier, Nico. I don't know if you heard me, but I was talking about how Leon is saying that he is going to finish Nate in this fight. I kind of call bullshit on that one, unless Nate gets stopped because of a cut, which, he's been known to bleed. He's got bad scar tissue.
Yes.
But going with this fight, I'm going with Nate Diaz, buddy. The big underdog, Nate Diaz, which I don't know how you could make Nate Diaz a huge underdog on any fight ever anymore. But apparently that's what the bookmakers say. Leon Edwards is a 5-1 favorite, and Nate Diaz comes back at plus 355. My money's on Nate, man. I'm going to tell you why. I think that he has – all right. Nate hasn't fought a lot lately, but he's been a lot busier than Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards had like a little 3-minute fight with Belal, and then it got called off for a no contest, bullshit, whatever. Leon has been so inconsistent, not busy at all. I think Nate comes in, plays the spoiler, beats Leon, and starts calling out the top of the division. Give it to me, Nico. Tell me who you got.
Fuck. Oh, damn, man. This is so tough right now.
I'll even go one better, Nico. I think
you get in the driver's seat. I mean, the passenger.
Tell me. Keep talking, Will. You're good.
I think that Nate wins the fight by submission in the championship rounds.
No.
Yep. I think Leon. Yeah, I don't think Leon's going to have the gas to go with him all night. And I think in the 4th or 5th, I think he's going to be. I almost feel like he's going to pull a Connor and try to take Nate down and try to lay on him because he's tired of getting tagged all night.
All right, I can see. Fuck, man. Oh, it's so rough. I'm gonna go with Nate.
All right.
I'm gonna rock with you.
Okay, I like it, man. I like it. So we're agreeing on a few and disagreeing on a few.
Yeah.
The co-main event, Nico, for the Flyweight Championship of the world, Nico.
This is where we're gonna split. All right, cool.
Of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
I know who you're going with.
Oh, I'm going with the baby assassin, Brandon Moreno.
Yes,
that's my boy. Look, I'm going to tell you why I got to go with Moreno. Number one, I've always loved him right from the beginning, even when he was losing fights. I always saw the potential. And number two, anybody who looks like McLovin that is that dangerous, you got to go with him, bro. Look at him. He's a handsome guy. He looks like McLovin, man.
Definitely looks like he's ready for war. And after the last fight, you know that he's coming in hot. But I'm going to rock with the champion. I think that he's going to make the proper adjustments to get the job done.
Okay. It's interesting, too, Nico, because both of these championship fights are rematches. And the Figueiredo versus Moreno fight was a draw. And, you know, hey, everybody says, well, and, you know, we talked about this back when it happened, I believe. Well, Figueiredo would have won if he didn't lose the point for the low blow. But what about Moreno, who got kicked in the nuts? How do we know he wouldn't have kept doing better if he didn't get kicked in the nuts? So it's kind of a moot point. So
that's a fact.
Yeah, and so the other fight, the other title fight, is a rematch as well, and that one went to a split decision. So we got the two main fights are both rematches, and they were both very inconclusive. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely.
So the main event, Marvin
We're back
Vettori,
on the same page. We better be back on the same page.
Oh yeah, Marvin Vettori, who I love his shit talk. He's hilarious, and he was dressed up like a white gangster the other day. I thought that was freaking awesome. Against Israel. And, you know, we go ahead, Nico. Tell him what you think, man.
Israel Adesanya, and it's not going to be close at all.
Yep, I totally agree, man.
It's great. I got a dip, but
all right, bro.
My man,
I'm with you with Israel Adesanya. Yeah, I'm with you on Israel Adesanya, and I think that he finishes him, honestly. I think he comes out there and shows out. Love you too, bro. Be good. We'll see you.
Here, man. You already know what it is. You need to adjust your screen. It's not Bruce Buffer, but thank you for joining us here live on TFG. Holla at your boy. Peace.
For sure, bro. Later, man. All right. So, as I was saying, the main event, Israel Adesanya. Nico, thank you, bro. The main event, Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. I'm going with Adesanya. By finish, I think he's going to come out there, and I think he's going to have a lot to prove, and I think he's going to prove what he wants to. A lot of people are saying, oh, you know, Jan Blachowicz beat him and wrestled and blah, blah, blah. Okay, Jan Blachowicz is a large man. Probably came into that fight in the high 220s. Israel might have come in that fight at 195. As I stated the other night, you cannot judge Israel on that. He went up and he took a shot, and he didn't make it. If Jan went up to heavyweight and took a shot at the heavyweight title, I think it would have been the same outcome. But I don't think Jan would go the distance with Francis. I think he'd get knocked out. So if you put it like that, then you got to give Israel Adesanya a little bit more respect than you're giving him right now. Also, let's not forget, he also went up there and fought the light heavyweight champion, something that Anderson Silva never did do. He had the opportunity, could have fought John Jones, but he didn't take the fight. Israel went up there and he took a shot, man. And you can never blame the guy, any guy, who goes up there and takes the shot, man. I've seen it a million times, but you can't do it. So we'll go ahead and say I think that Israel finishes Marvin Vettori second round. And I don't think Marvin gets a takedown, and I don't think this fight is very close. So there's my predictions for Sunday. Just so everybody knows that's watching, this is going to be a shorter episode tonight because I'm by myself. And, you know, Nico just came through, gave his predictions, and had to run. But yeah, so it's cool. I'm going to stick with you guys for a little while. There's a couple other fights, you know, earlier in the night. I'm looking forward to Chase Hooper fighting Steven Peterson. I think Chase will win that fight. Pani Kianzad is going to be fighting Alexis Davis. I think I'm leaning towards Pani. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. I think that she could take that fight. Alexis Davis is good. She's been consistent throughout the years, but I think that Pani is just a notch above her, in my opinion. So let's look for the Swedish fighter to win that fight. As I said, I think Chase Hooper wins his fight. And what was the other fight that I was looking at earlier that I wanted to give a prediction on? Let's see. Okay, I think that's right. Jake Collier versus Carlos Felipe. Jake is coming off of a win against Gan Vellante, and Carlos is coming off of 2 wins against Justin Taffa, split decision win, and a win over Jorgen De Castro. So he's 10-1 is Carlos, and Jake is 12-5, but I'm still I'm gonna go with Carlos. I am gonna go with Carlos only because of what Tom Aspinall did to him 2 fights ago. Really made him look bad, and I think Carlos will come out there and take care of business in that fight as well. So yeah, but anything else going on out there you guys want to comment on, we can go ahead and get those out of the way. It hasn't been the busiest week in MMA news, but I'm looking forward to a busy weekend. There's some really good stuff going on this weekend with the PFL, as I mentioned earlier. The UFC event is coming up this weekend, and just, man, there's a lot to look at this week. I did see a little bit more about the about oh man, I can't even think of his name right now. Oh man, I feel ridiculous right now. I can't think of his name. Ariel Helwani. I saw some more stuff about him leaving ESPN. I feel bad about it, but I think that Ariel will land back on his feet. I was watching his feed yesterday on Instagram where he was opening cards and quizzing UFC fighters. It was pretty awesome. I loved it. I actually I'm not going to take that same idea, but I do want to bring some fans on this show and do a little bit of trivia. I think that would be fun. I think that it's a nice interactive way that we could do things, and we'll do a prize. We'll have 2 on at the same time, and we'll do a fight night trivia, something like that. So yeah, I think that Ariel Helwani will do good. Like I was saying the other night, I think he may go to Showtime. I've heard some other rumors, different innuendos about what he's going to do. We'll see. But pretty cool guy, and I guarantee he'll land back on his feet. He seems like a very nice guy, very knowledgeable, and somebody I look up to. So, we'll see. We'll see where he ends up. But let me just go down the list real quick before we finish up. I want to go down the list and give you guys for sure my official predictions. I know Nico had to run. That's cool, but I'm going to go over this one more time with you guys and tell you how I feel the night will go on Saturday night. So during the prelims, I think that Joanne Calderwood will beat Lauren Murphy. I think that Eric Anders will beat Darren Stewart. I think that Brad Riddle will beat Drew Dober. I think that Paul Craig will beat Jamahal Hill. I think that Bilal Muhammad will beat Damian Maia. I think that Nate Diaz will beat Leon Edwards. I think Brandon Moreno will beat Deiveson Figueiredo for the title. And I think that Israel Adesanya is going to destroy Marvin Vettori. Hey, and don't get me wrong, I like Marvin. I just don't think that they're in the same league. And I think that Israel has improved a lot more than Marvin has, in my opinion. I may be wrong. You may think I'm crazy, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I also wanted to give a shout out to a friend of the podcast, Jason Knight. He signed on to fight against Charles Crazy Horse Bennett on the 18th of June. It's going to be Game Bred Fighting Championship owned by Jorge Masvidal. It is their premier event, their first event, and it's going to be awesome. And it's on BKTV, which is the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships app. I can't wait. I've got that. I love the fact that I don't have to order pay-per-views. I pay $40 for the year, and I get to watch whatever I want, whenever I want, however many times I want. So I'm pretty psyched about Jason fighting again. He won his last MMA fight, and he won his last bare knuckle boxing match. So Jason's on a little bit of a roll. I really hope that we can get him back on here soon, maybe after the fight. I wanted to ask him to come on before the fight, but it was a little close to the fight, so I didn't bother. I didn't want to bother him. So yeah, that's how that goes. And speaking of bare knuckle bare knuckle fighting. So apparently there is some stuff going on where Dave Feldman says he's interested in signing some WWE stars that were recently released. He said several great stars from the WWE and other major league wrestling organizations have found success in combat sports. We think it's time we get into that business. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know if he's saying that he wants to book some MMA, WWE or wrestling events, excuse me, or if he wants some of those guys in bare knuckle. I'm not sure. That's interesting, though. David Feldman wants something to do with some pro wrestling. Other major wrestling organizations have found success in combat sports. We think it's time we get into that business. Hey, let's see what happens, man. CM Punk didn't do too well when yo, Braun Strowman, exactly. That shit would be crazy, Nico. Joe Storm, they're going to get those hands. Oh, man. I mean, yeah, Nico said Israel will finish Marvin. I totally agree. Joe Storm, man, could you imagine Braun Strowman in a bare-knuckle boxing match? But just the way that it reads, I don't know if it's kind of a cryptic message. He said that, I'll read it one more time, several great stars from WWE and other major league wrestling organizations have found success in combat sports. We think it's time we get into that business. I think he's saying that he may sign some WWE stars that have been let go, but I don't know, man. Nico, could you imagine Bigfoot Silva? Because he does fight for BKFC sometimes. Could you imagine Bigfoot Silva versus Braun Strowman? Just the way that fight would look, it would be insane. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. Look, hey, bring Brock Lesnar to BKFC. Let him and Braun fight. If he connects, somebody will get knocked the fuck out. Hey, I agree, man. That dude is a freak, Joe. That's a freak, man. So I think that would be interesting. I don't know, man. I just hope it would go better. Yeah, it would be intense. I hope if he does sign some of those guys, I just hope it goes better than CM Punk went. And also for the older heads out there, Joe Storm, you're my boy. Ludwig Borga, Tony Holm, when he came into UFC, I think UFC 9 or 11, one of those odd numbers, he fought Randy Couture and got his ass kicked. He told the UFC that he was like 200 and something and in bare knuckle fighting, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Randy Couture took him down and choked him out. It was kind of ridiculous. And then, Ken Shamrock, obviously he was a pro wrestler and MMA fighter at the same time. He'll be here next week, by the way. Cheap plug for the show. But, he did good in MMA. And then you had CM Punk. I think there's been a couple other people, but it seems to me like the combat sport athletes do better going over to wrestling than the wrestlers do coming to combat sports. But hey, it's all good. Hey, Nico, that would be money, Brock versus Braun. And let me just tell you something, man. I know that Brock has the experience in combat sports, but I still think he'd get knocked out because, man, hey, he's a tough dude, but he showed before that if somebody connects, they're going to put him to sleep or at least hurt him pretty bad. I think Braun could take him, man. I really do. Now, if you put wrestling in there, Brock is going to whip his ass every day of the week. But just straight up punching, I think it's a 50-50, and I'll go with Braun based on sheer size and power and just, I don't know, man. I think he's a little younger than Brock, probably still a little bit more of an athlete at this point in their life. Yeah, exactly. Braun training boxing for a half a year. I think that he would take out Brock. If Braun needs a trainer, call my cousin Nico or come find him. Oh, yeah. He would knock Brock's head off. I totally agree. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're 30 minutes in. I think 30 minutes is pretty good for doing it by myself for the most part. Nico, thank you for stopping in, bro. I really appreciate it. I know we didn't want to reschedule tonight just because we have next Wednesday going on. And, we're trying to keep our schedule a little bit better. This past week, I had to reschedule because of my trip, and then Nico's traveling today. So we're trying to just stay on the time a little bit more consistent together. So anyway, for Nico, I am Will, and this is the Fight Gods podcast. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for commenting and keeping stuff fun. And we will see you Sunday night with some results. And next Wednesday, don't you dare forget it, Ken Shamrock will be in the building. Love you guys. Peace out.